Hey guys, how's it going? This is going to be a vault video where I go back to the CD collection I have right over here. It's a tower that spins. And then I also have some CDs down here. You can see the tower itself can't hold all my CDs. So I've even downsized probably 2 or 3 times, and I still don't have enough room. But I left off last time with AC/DC, Highway to Hell. And I forgot, I thought that was the end of my AC/DC collection, but I have, of course, Back in Black. Get some glare on there. The difference with this version, you can see here on the side, it's a dual disc. And there's some text there about what dual disc is. It's essentially the CD version on one side, and then this was put out around the time where kind of like high-def audio was becoming a bigger deal to a lot of people, and record labels were experimenting with, hey, how can we, of course, make money off people that have already bought a version of an album? So they have DVD audio, which I think it was meant to be, it's called Superior Sound. I did not have a DVD player at the time, but if you, it's not a normal jewel case. There's a button over here that you press, and it opens up to, you know, what your standard jewel case might look like. But the disc itself, as you can see here, this is the CD side. Try to get the glare off. You see the little in black, it says CD. And then on this side, it says, try to turn it so you can actually see. It says DVD. The DVD audio quality is supposed to be better than CD. I don't know if that's true or not. I've never done a comparison. I'm sure there's a YouTube video out there. This has some different insides as compared to probably a CD copy Back in Black that you might have. If I remember right, the inside here has some cool photos and stuff of vintage AC/DC, which is kind of fun to read some of this stuff. David Fricke, I think, Frick from Rolling Stone has a write-up in here, which is kind of interesting to read. But yeah, I mean, this has all the songs that you know. This is probably considered their best album by a lot of people. It's got Hell's Bells, Shoot to Thrill, Back in Black, You Shook Me All Night Long, Have a Drink on Me. Everyone loves this album. I still like Highway to Hell better. I don't know if it's because it's not as slick as this album. I don't know, but it's definitely not my favorite album, but a lot of people like it, so shout out to those folks. Next up is a band in my collection called Eon. This is a death metal band out of Sweden. They had a few full-length releases. Here's the CD. Sorry for the glare, folks. CD there. And then the inside booklet. They had, I think they started in the late 90s. I did not discover them until this album came out. This album was on a lot of year-end lists in 2012, I believe. That's 8 years ago. It doesn't seem like 8 years. But I remember this album cover being out there quite a bit, so I picked it up. It's very, you can tell they have a very Morbid Angel influence, which is not a bad thing. But the guitar tone on this album is what really drew me in the production. I mean, the guitar tone and the vocals and drums, everything's turned up to 10 and right in your face. Whereas Morbid Angel, I think, always kind of been more calculated, and certain production things were tweaked throughout different Morbid Angel releases, and this one just blasts you right in your face. Came out in 2012. The band has not put anything out since then. It was late 2012. I have not heard anything about the band. I don't even know if they're still together, but solid release nonetheless. Next up, a band everyone's heard of. I'm not going to talk too much about it, but it's Aerosmith. This is their first album called Aerosmith. I think I found this one. It's weird with these older albums. This came out in '73. So as you can imagine, it's been produced in multiple formats. It's been reissued, Lord only knows how many times, by the record label. And there's the inside and the back. This is obviously a reissue of some sort. The inside doesn't really have a lot. There's a little write-up about Aerosmith on the inside there, and some stuff in the back, some old pictures. This has Dream On it, a great song. I know it's been played to death over the years. It also has Mama Kin and Walking the Dog on it. But all the other songs like Make It, Somebody, are all classic rock songs in my opinion. I think this is a great Aerosmith record. And I think it's the only one I actually own on CD. Actually, it is the only one I own on CD. I don't think I own any other Aerosmith albums, but I might. I'll have to do when I go through my records someday. We'll see what we have. But yeah, this is a great album. If you're brand new to this glare is fucking awful. If you're brand new to rock and roll, check out Aerosmith. I know some young folks may only know the Steven Tyler from American Idol or whatever, but he was actually pretty cool one time. Steve Perry's a great guitar player too. Next up, this is the section of my collection that's AF, and there's only one band. I'll try that again. There's only one band in my collection, at least my CD collection, that has AF. So if you're not a fan of AFI, you can probably pause the video now. I personally like AFI up until a certain point. I don't think a lot of people don't really give them, I think, the credit that they deserve, at least the early years. Back, in the California skate punk days. So I'm going to go through my AFI collection. First off is their first ever full length. This is called Answer That and Stay Fashionable. Kind of cool that they have the Reservoir Dogs, nod to Reservoir Dogs there on the front and the back. I got into this album mainly for the cover at first. I thought the cover was cool. They've got the East Bay hardcore deal there. These guys, if you look up AFI now and then listen to this album, you would swear that it's not. No way in hell it's the same band. But this album's great from start to finish. Lots of great punk rock songs on this. It starts off, the first song, I'm Two of a Kind, is great. But from beginning to end, this is actually a great punk rock album. I don't think enough people talk about this album. There's not a lot of... once they hit the big time, folks just kind of forgot about all this old stuff, and most of the old stuff is what I have. If you like kind of, I hate saying skate punk, but kind of that upbeat, song titles. Like, I want to get a mohawk, but my mom won't let me get one. It sounds like a stupid song title, but it's actually a very catchy song. So if you're into the old 90s skate punk or just punk rock in general, you can't really go wrong with this album. I consider this album a classic. A lot of people don't even know about this album, so check that out. After that, they did release a couple EPs and full lengths. I do have some EPs. I don't remember which order these came in. It might be, this one might be first. This is called A Fire Inside. This is an EP, has 3 songs. The reason I bought this one, this came out in 1998. I bought this because it has a cover of Demonomania from the Misfits. I was becoming a huge Misfits fan. Inside, back, and their cover is actually very good. Not as good as the Misfits, obviously, that goes without saying. But you can kind of see here in the CD tray a live shot of the band. They used to play a lot of small shows, very intimate punk rock type shows before they got popular. This is not a reissue either. I don't know if they ever reissued their stuff. This is the original on Adeline Records. And their other album was on, is it Wingnut? Yeah, Wingnut Records. So they had that EP, and then if you started to, they had a Misfits cover here, and if you've seen the band and how they've evolved over the years, the lead singer, was it Davey? I can't remember his name, Davey something. They kind of started to become like a gothy. You could see the Misfits influence, at least in their image, not so much in the music. But this was another EP they put out called All Hallows EP, so you can start to see a Halloween theme and an evil type theme. This was out on Nitro Records. You can kind of see the Misfits influence, the very Halloween theme type things, the dark hair, things like that. So again, if you're going to emulate a band, at least in appearance, Misfits, they're never going to be duplicated, but good band to emulate. There's the inside. Again, another pumpkin. And then we've got some other stuff here. So this was, this had, I think all these songs were original. There were 3 songs in total, no covers on this one. But they did cover the Misfits a lot throughout their career. Again, this is a good EP, in my opinion. Everything I'm talking about from AFI, in my opinion, except for maybe one album in here, we'll get to that shortly, is pretty solid. I don't remember. I think The Art of Drowning came out next. They started to lose me a little bit with this one. It was still good, but you can see the artwork was the same throughout a lot of albums, and they've got some more evil type imagery. But they started to drift a little bit on this album. But it has, sorry, I can't see very well, Ever in a Day, The Lost Souls, Story at 3, Days of Phoenix. There were some great songs on here. Not as good as their first album. I still actually have, so this is Nitro Records CD. Those of you that used to buy CDs might remember you would get a catalog with the CD. So this is a Nitro Records catalog. And I don't know if you can actually see that or not. Yeah, there you go. But you would actually have to fill this out and mail it by mail, kids. The struggle was real back then. You would have to mail something, tell them what you wanted. They'd put the shipping costs on here, and you'd have to put in California residence 7.75 sales tax even back then. The shipping costs were down here. You'd have to. They did have a website, but if you were outside the USA and Canada, you had to go to the website and place an order. So I used to fill things like this out quite a bit, but around the 90s, late 90s, the internet was becoming a thing. It looked like it was going to stick around. It wasn't just a trend like some people thought. So I remember buying stuff over the internet, like, wow, I don't have to fill out something and mail it in, not know if the order ever got there. I mean, you didn't get a confirmation from anybody saying, hey, Sean, we got your order. You just put it in an envelope, slapped a 23-cent stamp on it, sent it out, and crossed your fingers, and 3 months later, a T-shirt would arrive or a CD would arrive in the mail, and you would completely forgot you even ordered it. So those were the good old days. Next up, to me, this is probably their last great album. This is Black Sails in the Sunset. This is kind of a darker, heavier album compared to their other stuff. I was kind of surprised when this came out. This also had a Nitro catalog in it. It was very dark. I don't know what the band was going through at the time, but it's a great album, I think. I don't think it gets enough credit either. You can kind of see when I was mentioning earlier about the goth influence of the band, you can see their image start to change a little bit. There's Davey Havoc up there. They started to take on this persona of wearing dark eye makeup and dark hair and dark clothes, you know, very similar to the Misfits. But yeah, this is probably, in my opinion, their last great album. This is the last time they were on what I would consider independent label, at least up until the time I quit paying attention to them. So this also came out on Nitro. But Strength Through Wounding, Narrative of Soul Against Soul, Clove Smoke, Catharsis, The Last Kiss, all good stuff. So this is, in my opinion, the last great and good AFI album you need to pay attention to. And then this came out. I still own it. It's probably the one that, well, it is the one that put them on the mainstream map. Sing the Sorrow. This is when AFI blew up. Girls Not Grey came out on, was it MTV, or it was actually played on rock radio. Your local cock rock station played the song nonstop, I'm sure. But they had about 3 hits off this album. They became extremely, extremely popular. They really took on the gothic persona times 10. Again, that's not a bad thing, but they really started to lose me with this album. There's still some catchy songs on here. If you forget all of the hype around the band and the rise in mainstream rock and roll that these guys took, and I think after this album, I think the one that came after this one was December something. I gave it a chance, and it did nothing for me, and I have not paid attention to AFI since. So if they did put out a good album, let me know. I highly doubt it, but again, that output there, that's more than most bands could even dream of as far as good output. So happy to have those things in my collection, and that gets us through AF. So next we're going to go from AG through, I don't know how far we're going to get. I might make it a little longer. I have a ton of shit to get through. So thanks for checking out the channel, guys. Hope you like me digging into the vault here behind my big head. Talking about CDs. Next, we're going to go through, at someday, all of my vinyl. It's going to take a while, so I got plenty of content to create. So thanks for checking out the channel, guys, and have a good one.